There is a dangerous misunderstanding about success that keeps millions of people busy, frustrated, and disappointed. They think success is something that happens to you. They think one day the right opportunity will arrive, the right person will notice them, the right business idea will appear, the right amount of money will come, and suddenly life will become easier. They are waiting for success as if success were an event. But success is not an event. Success is a process. It is the result of what you repeatedly do when nobody is watching, when nobody is applauding, and when there is no guarantee that your effort will pay off. And this is where most people get it wrong. They want the reward without becoming the person capable of producing the reward. They want wealth without developing financial discipline. They want confidence without keeping promises to themselves. They want a successful business without learning how to serve people. They want a great body without changing their habits. They want freedom without accepting responsibility. They want extraordinary results while continuing to live an ordinary life. But life does not work that way. If you want something different from what you have to become different from who you have been. That is not punishment, that is opportunity. Because once you understand this principle, you stop waiting for your circumstances to change and start changing yourself. You stop asking, why hasn't my life improved? And begin asking the much more powerful question, who do I need to become? That question can change your entire life. Most people believe the biggest difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is luck. They look at someone who has built a company, created wealth, developed a respected career, or achieved something remarkable, and they see the final picture. They see the house, the business, the confidence, the freedom, the recognition. What they don't see are the thousands of ordinary decisions that created the extraordinary result. They don't see the mornings when that person got up while everyone else was sleeping. They don't see the books that were read. They don't see the skills that were developed. They don't see the mistakes. They don't see the rejected applications, failed businesses, difficult conversations, lost opportunities, uncomfortable sacrifices, and years of work that produce the result. People love to study success at the finish line, but success is created at the starting line. And the starting line is usually very ordinary. It begins with a decision, not a wish. A decision, a wish says, I hope my life gets better. A decision says, I'm going to make my life better. Those two statements sound similar, but they create completely different lives. A wish leaves your future in the hands of circumstances. A decision puts your future back into your hands. This is one of the greatest transformations you can make in your thinking. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for somebody to discover you. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop waiting until you have more money. Stop waiting until you have more confidence. Stop waiting until conditions are perfect. They will never be perfect. The person who waits for perfect conditions may spend an entire lifetime waiting. You have to learn to begin with what you have, where you are, and improve from there. If you have $10, learn how to manage $10 before you complain that you don't have 10,000. If you have 1 hour, learn how to use 1 hour before complaining that you don't have more time. If you have one skill, develop that skill. If you have one opportunity, maximize that opportunity. If you have one customer, serve that customer extraordinarily well. Success often begins with something so small that nobody else considers it important, but you do. You understand that small things become big things when they are repeated long enough. A person who saves a little every week develops financial discipline. A person who reads a few pages every day develops knowledge. A person who exercises consistently develops strength. A person who practices a skill every day develops competence. A person who keeps promises to themselves develops confidence. And confidence is not something you simply think your way into. Much of genuine confidence comes from evidence. You become confident because you have repeatedly demonstrated to yourself that you can be trusted. You said you would wake up early, and you did. You said you would finish the project, and you did. You said you would stop wasting money, and you did. You said you would learn the skill, and you did. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. And every time you repeatedly break promises to yourself, you teach yourself the opposite lesson. This is why discipline matters. Discipline is not about making life miserable. Discipline is about making your future more valuable than your present comfort. Most people make decisions based on what feels good today. Successful people learn to ask what will matter tomorrow. That difference is enormous. The undisciplined person says, I don't feel like doing it. The disciplined person says, it doesn't matter how I feel. This matters. You don't need to feel motivated every morning. You need a reason strong enough to keep moving when motivation disappears. Because motivation comes and goes, discipline remains. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is confusing activity with progress. Being busy does not mean you're moving forward. You can spend 12 hours a day doing things that have almost no impact on your future. You can answer messages all day and still accomplish nothing important. You can watch hundreds of motivational videos and never change one behavior. You can make endless plans and never execute one. You can talk about your goals so much that talking begins to feel like progress, but talking is not progress. Planning is not progress. Thinking is not progress. Progress requires action. And not just action, productive action. You need to ask yourself regularly, what am I doing today that will make tomorrow better? That question cuts through distraction, because not everything deserves your attention. Not every opportunity is your opportunity. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every problem deserves your worry. Not every invitation deserves your yes. Success requires learning what to say no to. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your future is disappoint someone in your present. Say no to the unnecessary. Say no to the distraction. Say no to the habit that is stealing your potential. Say no to the people who constantly pull you backward. Say no to the version of yourself that wants comfort more than growth, because every yes has a cost. When you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. If you say yes to endless entertainment, you may be saying no to education. If you say yes to procrastination, you may be saying no to opportunity. If you say yes to unnecessary spending, you may be saying no to financial freedom. If you say yes to negative people, you may be saying no to peace. Your life is being shaped by your choices, whether you're conscious of those choices or not. And that brings us to another truth. Most people get wrong about success. They think success is primarily about getting more money, more followers, more recognition, more possessions, more status. But real success is also about becoming more capable, more disciplined, more useful, more thoughtful, more resilient, more responsible, more valuable to other people, because the marketplace rewards value. If you want to increase your income, don't spend all your energy asking, how can I get more money? Ask, how can I become more valuable? What problem can you solve? What skill can you develop? What can you do better than you could do a year ago? What can you learn that people are willing to pay for? What can you create? What can you improve? What can you teach? What can you build? Money is often a reflection of value exchanged. So instead of obsessing over the reward, become obsessed with increasing your ability to create value. Learn communication, learn sales, learn leadership, learn technology, learn financial management, learn negotiation, learn how people think, learn how businesses work, learn how to solve difficult problems, learn how to finish what you start. The world has enormous respect for people who can solve problems. Become one of them. Another mistake people make is thinking that failure means they are not meant to succeed, but failure is often simply information. You tried something, it didn't work. Good, now you know something you didn't know before. The question is not whether you will fail. The question is whether you will learn. There's a huge difference between failing and being defeated. Failure is an event. Defeat is a decision. You can lose a business without losing your ability to build another. You can lose money without losing your ability to earn. You can lose an opportunity without losing your future. You can make a terrible decision without becoming a terrible person. Never allow one chapter to convince you that the entire book is finished. Some of your greatest lessons will come disguised as disappointments. Some doors close because they were never your door. Some plans fail because they were not strong enough. Some relationships end because you have outgrown the version of yourself that needed them. Some seasons become difficult because they are forcing you to develop strength you would never have developed in comfort. Do not waste pain. If you're going through something difficult, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? That question transforms suffering into education. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of saying, this is unfair, ask, how can I become stronger because of this? Instead of saying, I lost, ask, what did I learn? That is the mindset of someone who refuses to be permanently defeated. And now we come to something even deeper. Your environment matters. You cannot spend years surrounding yourself with people who mock ambition, celebrate excuses, complain about everything, and then wonder why your thinking remains small. You become influenced by what you repeatedly hear. You become influenced by what you repeatedly watch. You become influenced by the standards of the people around you. If everyone around you believes that discipline is foolish, discipline will feel strange. If everyone around you believes that learning is unnecessary, reading will feel unusual. If everyone around you believes that success is impossible, ambition will feel embarrassing. But remember this, normal is not always healthy. Common is not always correct. Popular is not always wise. You have to decide what kind of life you want and then choose influences that support that direction. This doesn't mean you must hate people who live differently. It means you must take responsibility for what you allow to shape your mind. Your mind is a garden. Whatever you repeatedly plant will eventually grow. Plant fear, and fear grows. Plant resentment, and resentment grows. Plant excuses, and excuses grow. Plant discipline, knowledge, courage, patience, and responsibility, and those qualities begin to shape your life. Be careful what you consume. Because what enters your mind eventually influences what comes out of your mouth, what you believe, and what you do. And perhaps one of the most important lessons about success is that you must learn to appreciate the process. If you only love the destination, you will hate most of the journey. There will be boring days, there will be repetitive days, there will be days when nobody notices. There will be days when your results seem invisible, but the invisible work is often producing visible results later. A tree doesn't become strong because someone watches it grow every day. It becomes strong because it keeps growing, whether anyone is watching or not. You need that kind of patience. Stop measuring your progress every 24 hours. Some transformations require years. You don't plant a seed in the morning and dig it up in the afternoon because you cannot see a tree. Give your efforts time, but understand the difference between patience and passivity. Patience means you keep working while you wait. Passivity means you wait without working. One produces results, the other produces excuses. Work patiently, learn patiently, build patiently, invest patiently, improve patiently, and while you're waiting for the big result, become better, because sometimes the greatest reward of pursuing a goal is not getting the goal. It is becoming the kind of person who can create it again and again. Think about that. If you suddenly received $1 million but remained financially irresponsible, how long would it last? If you suddenly received a huge audience but had no discipline, how long could you maintain it? If you suddenly received an extraordinary opportunity but lacked the skills to handle it, what would happen? This is why preparation matters. You don't simply need a bigger opportunity, you need bigger capacity, because an opportunity can be lost when it arrives before you're ready. So while you're waiting for your breakthrough, prepare for it. While you're waiting for the business, learn business. While you're waiting for leadership, learn leadership. While you're waiting for wealth, learn wealth management. While you're waiting for influence, learn communication. While you're waiting for freedom, develop self-discipline. Don't spend your preparation period complaining that nothing is happening. Something is happening. You're becoming ready. And when opportunity finally arrives, you want to be able to say, I have been preparing for this. That is the difference between wishing and preparing. Now, let me challenge you with something. If I looked at your daily routine, would I be able to predict your future? Look at what you do repeatedly, not what you say, not what you intend, not what you hope. What do you repeatedly do? Your habits are telling the story of your future. If you spend your mornings distracted, your future will carry the consequences. If you spend your evenings learning, your future will carry the benefits. If you consistently save, your future will benefit. If you consistently waste, your future will pay the bill. If you consistently complain, your mind becomes trained to see problems. If you consistently search for solutions, your mind becomes trained to see possibilities. Your future is not created only by the dramatic decisions you make once in a while. It is created by the small decisions you make every day. That is why the ordinary day matters. Today matters, this morning matters, this hour matters, this conversation matters, this decision matters. Don't underestimate the power of today simply because it looks ordinary. Your life is built out of ordinary days. If you improve your ordinary days, eventually you improve your entire life. And there is another trap you must avoid. Comparison. Comparison can destroy your appreciation for your own progress. You look at someone else's chapter 20 and compare it to your chapter 2. You see their success but not their sacrifice. You see their results but not their years. You see their confidence but not the uncertainty they once carried. You see the finished building but not the foundation, so stop using somebody else's timeline to judge your own life. Your responsibility is not to become them. Your responsibility is to become the strongest, wisest, most disciplined version of yourself that you can become. Competition can be useful when it inspires excellence. But comparison becomes destructive when it makes you despise your own progress. Measure yourself against yourself. Are you wiser than you were last year? More disciplined? More financially responsible, more emotionally mature, more courageous, more capable, more useful? If the answer is yes, then you're moving. Keep moving. And remember that success is not merely what you acquire. It is also what you become. What good is money if you lose your integrity? What good is influence if you lose your character? What good is achievement if you have no peace? What good is recognition if you don't respect yourself? A successful life must be bigger than a successful bank account. Build wealth, yes. Build health. Build relationships, build character, build knowledge, build faith, build emotional strength. Build something that remains valuable even when nobody is applauding, because one day the applause becomes quiet. The crowd moves on, the numbers change, the trends disappear, and you are left with the person you have become. Make sure you respect that person. This is why the real goal is not simply success. The real goal is growth. Because if you continue growing, you continue expanding your ability to create success. and growth requires discomfort. You cannot become stronger while always choosing the easiest path. You cannot become courageous without confronting fear. You cannot become disciplined without doing things you don't feel like doing. You cannot become wise without making mistakes. You cannot become patient without being tested. You cannot become resilient without experiencing difficulty. So don't pray for a life without challenges. Build yourself into someone who can handle challenges. That is a much greater victory. The world does not need another person looking for an easier life. It needs people who are willing to become stronger, people who can take responsibility, people who can keep their word, people who can create value, people who can lead themselves before attempting to lead others. And that is where your transformation begins. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now, look at your life, honestly. What habit is holding you back? What excuse have you been repeating? What skill have you been avoiding? What decision have you been postponing? What distraction is consuming your time? What relationship is draining your energy? What responsibility have you been blaming on someone else? What dream have you abandoned because you became afraid? You don't have to solve your entire life tonight. You just have to identify the next right step. Then take it. One step, then another, then another. That is how mountains are climbed. Nobody wakes up one morning and simply finds themselves at the summit. They climb, they stumble, they rest, they continue, they learn the terrain. They adjust, they keep going, and eventually they look back and realize that the distance was covered one step at a time. Your life can change the same way. One book, one habit, one decision, one conversation, 1 hour of focused work, one difficult no, one courageous yes, one disciplined morning, one better choice, then another, and another, until one day you look at your life and realize that the person you once wished to become is now the person standing in the mirror. That is success, not magic, not luck, not overnight transformation. And if you remember nothing else from this message, remember this: don't chase success. Chase the qualities that produce success. Don't chase money. Become valuable. Don't chase confidence. Keep promises to yourself. Don't chase motivation. Build discipline. Don't chase opportunities. Build capacity. Don't fear failure. Learn from it. Don't envy other people's results. Study their principles. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Use the moment you have. Don't ask why life has not given you more. Ask how you can become more. Because when you become more capable, more disciplined, more knowledgeable, more courageous, and more valuable, you change what is possible for your life. The greatest mistake most people make is thinking that success will change them. The truth is, they must change themselves to sustain success, and that is good news, because it means your future is not entirely determined by where you are standing today. You can learn, you can grow, you can change, you can begin again, you can rebuild, you can develop a new discipline, you can develop a new skill, you can change your environment, you can change your standards, you can change your habits. And when you change enough of those things consistently, your life eventually has no choice but to change with them. So stop waiting for your life to become extraordinary. Start making ordinary things extraordinary. Make your work excellent. Make your word reliable. Make your learning consistent. Make your discipline non-negotiable. Make your character strong. Make your contribution meaningful. Make your days count, because your future is being built right now, not someday, right now. Every decision is a brick. Every habit is a brick. Every hour is a brick. Every choice is a brick. And eventually those bricks become the structure of your life. So build carefully. Build deliberately. Build something you will be proud to live inside. And when you wake up tomorrow, don't ask, what can I get? Ask, what can I become? Don't ask, who will save me? Ask, what responsibility can I take? Don't ask, when will my breakthrough come? Ask, what can I improve today? Because the person who asks better questions eventually creates better answers, and the person who consistently creates better answers eventually creates a better life. That is what 99% of people get wrong about success. They think success is about getting somewhere. It is not. It is about becoming someone. Become the person who does not need to be chased. Become the person who does not need constant motivation. Become the person who finishes. Become the person who learns. Become the person who adapts. Become the person who takes responsibility. Become the person who can be trusted. Become the person who creates value when circumstances are difficult. Become the person who keeps going when nobody is watching. And when you become that person, success is no longer something you're desperately chasing. It becomes the natural consequence of who you are and what you repeatedly do. So begin. Start small, start imperfectly, start with what you have. But start, because years from now, you will either be grateful that you began today, or you will wish you had. The choice is being made right now, and your future self is watching. Give that person something to be proud of.